Hey team, and welcome. I'm your host, Carrie, creator of Mother Life, your destination for all things real talk and parenting. This is the IRL group chat, where we talk about the wild balancing act of pursuing careers and passions while also doing our best to show up for our kids. Join me every week as I sit down with some badass parents in my closet and we talk about their careers, kids, and relationships and all of the weird shit that comes up when you're trying to balance the seemingly impossible. Putting on a mask. In our day-to-day, we often think putting on a mask means that someone is being untruthful or dishonest about who they are. But putting on a mask can also be empowering. It's like identity armor. It provides a barrier between the real you and the rest of the world. It gives you some sort of control in how you're perceived. You get to decide how and what you want to share about yourself when you don a mask. There's a reason masquerade balls feature so prominently in literature and film, because a mask allows for excitement and intrigue and drama. In our lives, we're regularly donning different personas and versions of ourselves to cater to the task at hand. And often it's the people closest to us, like our kids, who get to see all of those versions. From worker person to party person to person with their friends to person with their extended family, our kids and those closest to us have front row seats to all of the versions of us. They learn from us how to navigate the switches. Because in observing me and the way I change out my masks, they're learning the difference between who I am at my core, the constant, and also how to be adaptable given different situations, because that's a regular part of life. The modern day mask for many, of course, is makeup. From bare face to full glam, for those that love makeup, it's an armor we wield differently based on the circumstance. And this week's guest is a master in that domain. I think she's also mastered the art of distilling who she is at her core, gregarious, funny, ambitious, while also being able to meet the many different moments of her life, from grass-stained sports to red carpets. Jamie Greenberg is a powerhouse in the world of celebrity makeup. She's the go-to artist for so many of Hollywood's funniest and most talented women: Rashida Jones, Kaley Cuoco, Chelsea Handler, so many more. She's the founder of Jamie Makeup, a cult favorite makeup company, a mom of 3, a wife to her husband of a bajillion years, and a damn good time. For listeners, around the 51-minute mark, we do talk about a traumatic birth story, so join us around the 55-minute mark if you want to skip over that. Enjoy this episode. I had so much fun. And if you're Zoloft, JCPenney, or L'Oreal, call me. We have work to do. Stat. Welcome to the closet.
Thank you.
Happy you're here.
Thank you.
I love your nails.
Thank you. What happens when we come out of the closet?
We're whole new people. We're reclaiming our identity, whatever that means to us,
I love
Jamie.
it. Thank you.
Okay, we have a lot to cover today.
Okay.
I'm very excited, but you know the shtick here. We're going to start with little Jamie.
Yes.
We're going to get to...
I just want to say for all the listeners right now, there was no lube involved. We just got straight to it. Okay, let's go.
Yeah, no.
We're not messing around here.
Time.
Moms do not have time.
Nor do CEOs of companies who work with their husbands.
Let's go. Yep.
You have a lot to do.
Yes.
We have a lot to cover. So we can't fuck around. We're starting with little Jamie. We're going to get to today. There's a lot in between, and we have listener questions.
Great.
Everyone knows Jamie now. Like the CEO, the boss bitch, the mom of 3, Jesus Christ.
I know.
And, you know, just flying around the world, doing some of our most favorite people's makeup. But, like, you weren't always doing that.
Nope.
So bring us back to the beginning. Where were you born? Where are you in your birth order in your family?
Okay, I was actually born here in California.
Real California? Like here?
Well, Palos Verdes.
Okay.
And my parents were living out here for my dad's job. And then they moved back east, and I grew up in Maryland. So most of my childhood was in Maryland. We moved back when I was 4.
And is Palos Verdes the place that people refer to as RPV? Rancho Palos Verdes? Is that the same thing?
I don't know. Maybe.
Is
it's
it
very
south?
pretty.
And is
it's
it on
south.
the water?
It's on the water. Yes.
Yeah,
And it looks like Italy.
Yes. Okay.
And I'm like, why didn't you keep the house?
How old were you when you moved from there back to Maryland?
4. So I remember nothing.
They often say Maryland is the Italy of East.
No, PV is Italy.
I know.
I'm like, Maryland. People think Maryland is like, it literally is a gray area. Like what? I don't know. I don't have any crab cakes. That's it.
Yeah,
all
I guess
people
that's the
know.
thing. I'm trying to think of something to say about Maryland.
Literally 14 miles from the DC line.
Okay.
So like DC, it was kind of like a homogenous, very melting pot.
What neighborhood?
I lived in Rockville, Maryland, which
Okay.
is like next to Potomac, next to Bethesda, which is
Okay.
like a nice, very nice neighborhood. Wonderful upbringing.
Yeah.
Safe, bubble.
Yeah.
But melting pot. Like because there's so many embassies in DC, you had people from all over the world. Like
That's ideal.
ideal. And that's how I thought the world was.
Yeah.
And little did I know. Yeah.
Come to Tampa, Florida, where I grew up. It's a little different.
Very different.
I think you might be our first Marylander on the podcast.
Let's go DMV.
So all I know,
That's
the DC Metro,
Maryland,
Virginia.
Yes. And there's a lot of us out here in Los Angeles, so I just want to give a what?
The only thing I know about Maryland is the Terrapins.
Yes, let's go. University
Because
of
my
Maryland.
high school mascot was also the Terrapins.
Oh, nice.
And
Terrapin Station, Grateful Dead.
okay, fine.
Yep.
So I know three things. Three
Great.
things about Terrapins. But they're turtles. Like, it's a terrible mascot for a school.
It is.
Slow? Like, wise, maybe?
Can I tell you something? I don't have my purse, but I carry a marble turtle in my purse.
Okay.
Because my husband calls me the turtle.
Say more.
Because he's like, literally everything you do takes a long time. Takes me a little while to arrive, but I always get there.
That's deep.
Yeah. He literally.
Can I have an example?
So for instance, okay,
Yeah.
like a lot of you out there see makeup lines come out, like for instance, and I am a Maryland girl. I came to LA. I didn't know anybody. I got here all by myself.
Yeah.
Right. Like no help from anybody.
Those embassy kids are not going to be helpful here in LA. No.
Nope.
Okay.
I went to the wrong school. No. So my parents tried to get me to go to private school. Would have been rubbing elbows, but no, I wanted to play sports, and my high school was great at sports. Anyway, so the point is,
Makeup lines.
makeup lines. Like a lot of people have street cred. They know the right people, and they come out with their line, and they're in Sephora without having to do anything. Since I started my line, I've had to, show proof of concept. You have to sell $1 million worth of product. Okay, we sold $1 million worth of product. Here, look.
Yeah.
We're not even advertising. Like, okay, you need to advertise. We need to see your ROI. And I'm like, okay.
Return on investment.
Return on investment. So we start advertising. Look, we're a 4-to-1 ROI. Great. Nobody gives a shit. I can't get arrested. Nobody fucking helps, whatever. So my husband's like, it's fine. We're going to just do it the old fashioned way, like the tortoise and the hare. Like I just slowly keep going. I keep my head down. I compare myself sometimes because I'm human, but I remember quickly that, comparison is the thief of joy.
Thief.
And I just continue to do it. And we always get where we want to get. Like everything in my career, I've gotten not as quickly as others, but I get there.
I'm
in
gonna
my
go.
own time.
I might be a turtle too. I think I'm a turtle.
Welcome to the turtle crew.
I got to tell my husband this because he calls me a Ukrainian tractor or Ukrainian tank.
Okay.
He's like a fine Swiss watch where if there's any humidity, it breaks and you have to like take it in for repair.
And it's like,
And he
double the
calls
price.
me, right. And
Yeah.
he calls me like a Ukrainian tractor or tank or whatever it is because I just keep going.
Yeah,
And,
and you're a
there's parts
beast.
falling off. And
Yes.
I'm just like,
That's me too. Let me give you a little a
Boom.
fist. Yeah.
but I think I'm a turtle tractor.
Yeah. Because it's like, it's the
Also
greatest
goes
story of all time. You
Yeah.
know?
But then it's like going back to the point of all of the steps that you've had to take, you really know what you're doing.
I do.
You really know the guts of the sausage because you took your time doing it. Right?
Yeah.
That's what I tell myself.
Yeah. Well, I'm still climbing for that, that final, like whatever it is that I think will make me happy.
And then
But,
you'll get there and think of a new thing.
yeah, I hope not.
I think you're kind of doing a lot of things right, which is one of the reasons why I want to talk to you because your kids are older than my kids.
Yes.
And I love a little bit of perspective from a little bit further down the line.
Okay. And I want to give a warning to the audience that I am not your typical mom. I am.
We don't do
Listen, my parents are
What does
both
that
from
mean?
Jersey. You'll see when I answer your questions because my family's from Jersey. I grew up with very thick accent. Jersey accent. My friends used to crank call my house, so my mom would answer the phone and go, "Hello, hello," and then they'd hang up. And like a lot of things that I've had to work on, as far as like therapy and stuff with myself, is like that Jersey mentality. I don't know if it's, I think it is a Jersey mentality.
Just like tough, suck it up.
Tough, suck it up. Also, we'll always call out the bullshit. We'll always, but it gets you in trouble sometimes because sometimes you just got to fucking, because what I've learned in therapy is that you just have to like accept what people are saying and not, you don't have to like insert your opinion into everything.
Yeah.
It's really hard.
Yeah.
But I realize that's like a very powerful thing and a very negative thing in the same regard. So,
but this is why I'm looking forward to talking to you because.
Let me put it this way. Yeah. My third child.
Yeah.
She spends a total of probably 5 hours, maybe on the weekday on iPad, maybe on the weekend, maybe fucking 10 hours. There, I said it. Everyone can hate and write in.
How old is she?
She's 7.
Okay.
Let me tell you something. She learned a lot of shit from YouTube. Okay, go on.
I love it. Well, one of the things that I've noticed is I encountered you accidentally in the wild and you were with your daughter, your oldest.
Yes.
And she's so cool. And she's like, I wasn't able to be as self-possessed as she seems to be. And she's like this really cool athlete, badass athlete girl, but is also into like makeup and is just owning the duality of the things that she's into in a way that I never gave myself permission to as a kid. And I think that there's probably a reflection of how she's living at home and what she's seeing at home and what she feels at home, which I think is a great success already in probably the toughest years of parenting in a lot of ways.
Yes.
And you guys seem to like each other. I'm sure you fight or whatever, but like you seem to like each other.
No, I really like her a lot.
Yeah. So that gives me a lot of hope. So we have to talk about that.
Yes.
Because I struggle with the gently, slowly, yummy, mummy. That's not me. Love that if that is somebody else. It's just not me who I am. So I can't become that for my kids.
Yes.
I got to figure out how to be who I am with my kids.
I don't know about you, but I feel like I take things that I hated about my childhood. For instance, my mom, very conservative with dress, loved a sweater set with a nice pair of khakis. We would fight like nobody's business when she'd take me to the Nordstrom Cafe.
Of course.
We'd have lunch, and then she'd take me to Brass Plum, and I'd be like, I want this crop top, and I want these baggy jeans. And she'd be like, this khaki with this lavender sweater set. And I would have all these fucking sweater sets in my closet. Till this day, don't give a shit what my kids wear to school. My youngest looks like the one that had from Peanuts with the flies over her head. She never brushes her hair. She wears her shirts backwards, her pants inside out, and I don't give a shit. I'm like, do you, boo? This is your expression. And my mom, like the things we fought about was just, she was trying to protect me, and I was trying to just be me and figure out who I was, you know? And that's something that I really bring into my mothering is like, I'm going to let them be who they are. You know, and I crash out at night after 8. I'm an asshole. Like, leave me alone. Like, I am going to crash out.
Well, so are they also, to be fair.
Yes.
After that, like nobody should be talking to anybody at that point.
I know.
And like serotonin for all of us is at its lowest of the day.
Oh,
like,
thank you for telling me that.
It's true. Like, it's just not a good time. People like even in a couple, I have found sometimes my husband and I will start a tense discussion and I'll look at the clock and I'm just like, can we just not do this right now? Because nobody is in the chemical space to be having
love that. And thank you for saying that because now it all makes sense.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah. Just physiologically, it's not the time.
And I get up early, so I feel like I'm spending a lot of energy, especially if I have clients because I'm giving my energy to them.
Yeah.
And by the time I get home, I am cooked, you know?
Yeah, dude. Wait, okay, so...
Okay, sorry. We're all over the map.
No, but this is what we do here. This is not... I mean, where are my notes?
Yes, I love you have no notes.
So
in her brain, because she's smart. Okay.
So what was your dad doing that brought you guys to California in the first place?
Okay, my dad's a patent attorney.
Okay.
So he has his degrees in engineering and law. And he also had a film degree, which he never lived out his dream. And they were very good about letting us live out our dreams. So he went to work for Xerox.
Okay.
They needed a patent attorney in California for Xerox.
R.I.P.? Are they still around?
I have no idea. I know. Probably R.I.P. Great name for a dog, though. Xerox. Come here, Xerox. Okay. And then after a while, like both their families, my grandparents were on the East Coast and they were like, come back. So they went back.
Which was probably a good call if they were involved grandparents, were they?
So No. I mean, my dad's grandparents were really our only grandparents. Sorry, Poppy. Like, it's just true. My mom, unfortunately, her mom died when she was younger.
Hard.
Dad remarried to a witch,
Yep,
and
as they
it was a
do.
terrible thing. And I honestly, my mom has passed since she had cancer, and I feel like the cancer was from her entire adult life, me as a child watching my mother plead with her father to come to their graduation, come to this, come to that. And it was like so sad. She was like very upset about it until the end of time.
Yeah.
You know? So I'm like, I think that caused her cancer. So
Well,
I mean, that's
stress
just,
does crazy things to the
yeah,
body.
that's what I'm saying.
It really does. But do you find also, and we'll get back to the other stuff, but
Okay.
with that thing of like watching her hold on to stuff and get very worked up about stuff, do you find that has also impacted you? Like, I find it really hard. Sometimes I get sad, like at the holidays that, you know, my whole family is not together or whatever. But I find it really hard to, in a sustained way, give a shit.
Yes. And I'll tell you what else helps, which I just started taking like a couple years ago. I take the lowest dose of Zoloft. And I got to tell you guys, out of my friend group from childhood, they would all yell at me and be like, why aren't you taking something? Because I would feel so, I'm a very emotional person. Revved up, sad. That shit used to put me over the edge.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I was very against those drugs because I'm like, you don't need it. Go to therapy.
Yeah.
Work
I'm
out.
self-possessed. I can figure it out.
Yeah. And I was good at managing that. But even my husband, like I would just, when I would go off the rails, I'd go off the rails and I'd cry and I'd meh. And so I went on, and now it's been 3 years, and I will never, ever, ever go off because
This is what people say about Zoloft.
dude. And at first I gained a little weight and I was a little like, what? But I got that. This is worth it. Like
The trade-off.
the trade-off is worth it. And I can't believe how against it I was. I was so judgmental. Like I literally thought anybody who was on them. When my mom was sick though, she was super depressed because she knew she was going to die.
Yeah.
Duh.
It's a good
She
reason
went
to
on
rest.
it.
Yeah.
She went on Lexapro.
Yeah.
And she turned to me and said, I wish I had taken this my entire life. And that always stuck in my head. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to give it a whirl.
YOLO.
Dude. Life-changing.
How long-
Takes the edge off.
Well, like, how long did it take?
Don't give a shit about shit.
We like that. We don't give a shit about shit.
That's my bumper
But
sticker.
how long did it take for you to like start feeling the effects
Like
of
6 months. No, I felt it. I did start to feel it, but it really like, it took like 6 months. I was like, I'm not going to give up on this because a lot of people give up after like a month because they feel tired or they feel fat or they feel sluggish or whatever. And I was like, let me just like
commit
to like seeing if this works. And then once I like figured out what I needed to do, how much sleep I needed to get in order to feel better, and I'm pretty in tune with my body, I was like, I will never, even my husband's like, you are a joy. Like you are so, we don't like, I would just get mental like we do. Like I'd get resentment if there was like dishes in the stuff like that, you know?
Maybe I should be on Zoloft.
Dude, everyone should be. Just saying.
Zoloft, if you're interested in sponsoring this podcast,
Yes.
please give me a call.
Exactly.
That is huge though. What did you feel the same way about therapy, or was just the medicine?
I loved therapy,
It
but
was just the medicine.
it
piece.
was the because therapy is great, but there's so much you have to constantly, like every day you're rewiring your computer to like not think this way or take a breath and relax. And I don't need a journal anymore, motherfuckers. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. But like, honestly, like things that would have sent me over the edge, I don't care about. And I'm like, my mom was so concerned about
Yes.
this and concerned about that. She should have had that edge taken off.
Yeah.
And it hasn't changed me at all. I thought it was going to ruin my sense of humor. I thought my sex life was going to suffer. But I think if you give it like a full 6 months, you figure out like you get back to you. And again, it's the lowest dose.
Yeah.
So
Amazing.
I love it.
I love that. We love drugs here on the pod.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like people don't talk about it enough because I was that person who would judge people and be like, oh, poor them. They're like, you know. And
Well, I'm kind of the opposite, where I've always been like, is there a drug I could be taking right now? Is there something you could just give me? And like both my therapist, my GP, everyone's like, you're actually like, the things that you're saying are all in standard deviation here. Like, I mean, and I'm like, but couldn't I just do less work and just,
yeah, the answer is yes.
yeah. So I
they're
think
lying to you.
We need to
because they
revisit.
want you to keep. But I will say that, like,
Keep journaling.
I'm not. You keep journaling. I'm not. How's that journal working out?
But we've got dad.
Xerox. All right.
Dad working on Xerox. This is why I'm having so much fun. We have dad working on Xerox, mom stay-at-home mom.
Stay-at-home mom.
And do you think that was the right fit for her?
No. No.
Say more.
Yeah. She was a very skilled dancer, and she lived in New Jersey, so she was like, summer stock was like the big thing in the summer, and she got picked to do summer stock, like Bye Bye Birdie or something, and her parents made her do math instead because she wasn't a very good math student, and that like ruined her life. She then taught PE. She loved PE. That was like that's kind of like being like a secretary or a nurse growing up, because there's always a job in a school, right? A teacher, there's always a job to be had. And then like I remember my mom had so many jobs that she created. She was like an entrepreneur in her own right. She had a cake business growing up.
Okay.
If I showed you the pictures of her cakes, she made everybody's cakes like in the DMV. She was like, it was the company was called How Sweet It Is.
Cute.
Fantastic. Like these cakes today would have been like, holy shit. I was like, dude, if she was alive, she would have been like a TikTok star. She was, first of all, the personality was crazy. And then her talent was insane. And then she cooked meals. We had family dinners every single night. She went to like
how I feel about things.
The Cordon Bleu, like of DC to learn how to create different meals. Like she was just so talented. And I think she suffered from some depression and stuff because I felt like the mothering wasn't enough. Now she was a phenomenal mother.
Yeah, but it wasn't enough of an outlet for her.
Correct. And then as I got older, she worked at a travel agent, Air Jamaica, I remember. I thought she was having an affair with the guy who hired her. I was like, I don't like this. You're working, and then, but then she fell on, this is such a weird job, but she fell on giving tours in Washington, D.C., like the 8th grade trips. When celebrities would come, they would have she would go with them and be like, and here's the Washington Memorial, like with her accent. She loved it so much. She was like Joan Rivers. She had a not a Rolodex, like cards. Yeah. And each monument had a stack of jokes that she would memorize.
Amazing.
So she was like, a little cringy, but that was her shtick. So she did that one at the end of high school for me, in my college years, and then in my adult years. And she just loved it. And she had so many friends. And when she passed away, all these schools all over the U.S. sent stuff. And it was so sweet. I was like, wow, she really touched so many people's lives with this. It was her. She was an entertainer. Yeah. And she never got to entertain.
I wonder where you got your vibe from.
Her, completely. Yeah, my dad's funny too, but he's an intellectual. Right. He went to Penn. He's smart as fuck. And I'm definitely it's Penny. If you watched Big Bang, it's Penny and Leonard. That was my parents. And I feel like I'm a little bit
Is it an accident that you brought up Penny? One of your girls?
Probably not. My Kaley Cuoco.
One of your girls. Okay, so growing up in this environment, you've got funny mom who's really making childhood memorable for you. Yes. And she's doing the brief, keeping you conservative in your clothes, which we don't appreciate, Mom. We didn't appreciate that. But otherwise, you feel loved, you feel supported. Both of your parents, it sound like, suffered a little bit from unrealized potential of what they really wanted to do. Correct. And they weren't going to let that happen to their kids. Correct. How many siblings do you have?
I have one. He's older than me. He was 3 years older. Uh-huh. Yeah, and he was 4 grades. So we never got to be in school together, but we were very close. Yeah, and we're still very close.
And now I have an older boy and a younger girl. Do you think there's anything your parents did to make it so you guys liked each other?
No, not at all. I feel like we would fight all the time.
Okay, great.
Yeah,
just checking.
24/7 fighting. Yeah.
Good.
Yep. And now we're really close.
Okay.
But I think my mom always would lay on the guilt trip I want you two to be close. Don't do this. Always I hear that. And now we are. We're very close. We talk almost every day.
Okay, that is really
And he lives in Maryland still.
Okay, that's very special. That's very special. Because, I mean, right now I just say to my son, This is your best friend
Yes.
for your whole life.
Keep saying it.
Don't treat
When
her like
I'm
that.
gone, this is all you have.
I know I'm an inch away from that, but I think he's a little anxious and he's 4.
Yeah,
so I feel
don't
like
give
if I
him that
start
then.
with me dying, he still talks a lot about my grandmother dying.
Oh, yes. That is the age that
Very
they're like,
into the macabre right now. Very
also,
into death.
4 is a really tough age. Like, you know how they say like the 2s, terrible 2s?
The
Dude,
fucking 4s.
It's, the fuck you 4s. Yep.
We are
Big time.
We got 2 weeks left of 4.
Yeah. And there will
he's
be
milking it.
the girls obviously turn quicker past like into 5, 6, 7. Like that's when I was like, and like my son didn't turn until like 10. Sorry.
Cool.
But everybody's different.
Great. Super. So when you're growing up, what were you into? Like what sort of things did you
I
like to do?
loved fashion and makeup and hair, and I loved all that. But I also loved sports. I was like obsessed with soccer, like obsessed. And everyone would make fun of me because I would have red nails and red lipstick and play soccer. And I was good.
Love it. Well, you kind of need to be good if you're going to do that sort of shit.
Like they would make fun of me all the time. They'd be like, "Are you going to do a glamour shot with like your soccer ball and your red nails?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So
you should.
Yep.
You should have.
That's
Still
like
do that for you, Jamie.
I should do that. I'll go to Sears. I love that everyone's doing that.
Yes.
No, not Sears.
No,
JCPenney.
JCPenney.
Which also I think might be RIPing. No,
probably.
Let's
be
everything
honest.
from our childhood is gone.
It's okay. Somebody our age will buy it and redo it.
Let's go.
That's what's happening.
I'm into that.
Yeah. So you and I are going to buy JCPenney.
Yeah.
So could you imagine? Did you imagine any of these things that you were into would translate to a vocation?
No.
So what did you think you were going to do for money?
So when I thought I was going to marry rich.
Yep. I was literally just going to say, or were you just going to marry?
I literally thought I'm going to find a rich guy. That's literally all I thought. And I studied film and photography in college. And I was like artsy and I loved drawing and I just was a free spirit. Like I just like to do everything, you know? Then when I graduated, I moved to New York City and I got a job at an editing company and was kind of like the bitch, like just like answer phones and, you know, put out the Dean and DeLuca and and like, you know, help a little bit with the editing, but like you had to kind of serve your time before you got to really
touch a button.
Yes. And then I looked at it and I was like, wow, like you just sit in the dark and like,
yeah, I don't see that for you.
I'm like, I like interaction, you know? I mean, so
you don't really fit the profile.
No. And you just sit around and eat.
Yeah, of course.
You know, it wasn't a good look, you know, just eat and sit in the dark. It's like, no. So I actually started taking some like comedy classes and some improv classes. And I started doing stand-up comedy in my 20s. And I got like some manager, what up, Roger, who was like a low-end manager. And
Rude. Roger, I'm so sorry for her.
No. Like I was low-end.
Okay.
He had real comedians.
I was gonna say,
yeah.
God.
I was low-end. Roger, I love you. You know I love you. Are you still there, Roger? And so he would send me up and down the East Coast opening for acts. I was like the first person.
Okay.
And I thought I was pretty good. And then I saw a tape of that I'm going to burn. And I'm like, I was so
Can
bad.
I have it before you burn it?
It's embarrassing. It's so cringe. But, you know.
Cringe is in.
Cringe is in.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe with kids under the age of 14.
Well, yeah, certainly not your own children. It will never be in with your
for
own
other.
children.
Yeah, you're right. Actually,
Yeah.
that doesn't count. Your own children don't count. You're right. My daughter's
You
friends
could breathe
think
in
I'm
your
cool.
embarrassment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So I did that, and it was really fun. And my parents were like, "Live your dream, go be a comedian," which like no parents would ever do.
Yeah.
And it was like such a depressing job. Like you would go to like Doodoo-ville anywhere, and like.
Sorry, Doodoo-ville. She
Yeah,
didn't mean it.
I don't mean it. That's where Roger lives in Doodoo-ville.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. And I would go and wait literally all day and then perform late at night.
For 5 minutes.
For 5 minutes. And then that would be that. And it was like, I had such anxiety waiting around all day. The one thing it made me good at is public speaking. If you were like, Jamie, you need to deliver 300 people are going to sit in the audience and you have to I'm like, give it to me. Like, I love that shit because they're not sitting in that audience asking you to make them laugh.
Yes.
You just have to go up. And then if you throw a joke in there, they're like, oh, wait,
Thrilled.
This one's not bored.
Yes.
So I really honed that. And I then realized like with what I do now, I am like a one-on-one comedian, right?
Yes.
Like I am
Totally.
in front of the client where the hair person can get away with being quiet because they're behind.
Yeah.
I can kind of razzle dazzle, you
Yeah.
know? And I now have attracted all female, like funny girls. Those are all
Well, I
my
was going to
clients.
say, you have Fortune, you have Chelsea.
I have Julie Bowen. I have Kaley Cuoco. I have Rashida Jones. I mean, like everybody's funny. You know what I mean?
Obsessed.
Yeah. Like everyone I work with is funny.
And that also sounds like collectively good vibes. Different vibes, but all those people that you
my
just
God.
named are
I
like
love,
good
I
vibes.
literally am like, I thank God every day that like these are the people I work with. Because in the beginning, just for you people starting out in whatever career you're doing, I didn't know who I was and where I fit in. And I was like, to my husband, I would be like, I need to go buy Louis Vuitton, you know, shoes. And he's like, why? I'm like, because everybody's fancy and everyone's pulling up in a Porsche and everybody's dripping in designer. And he's like, that's the stupidest shit I ever heard. My husband's also very pragmatic and very like,
He sounds like he should
great.
be
He's
my
my
guy.
rock.
Yeah.
And I am like flighty and like, wait, what do I need to do? Wait, who do I need to be? Wait, what do I need to buy? And he's like, just be yourself. And the minute because I would get put into so many situations and like, I can feel energy. Now I understand what it is. And I would walk into a room. It's a blind date. And I have to go into somebody's face and touch them on their face. And like, there's either a good vibe or a bad vibe, right? And there's like, that's really it. You either gel or you don't.
Yeah.
And so I would walk out just feeling so depleted and like, what could I have done to make them like me? Like, that's how it was, you know? And then he's like, just be yourself. And the minute I became myself, like, I attracted all these funny women. And every once in a while you get thrown for a curve, but for the most part, funny.
Yeah.
And
It's also super vulnerable as well because like you're literally seeing them with just bare face.
Yes.
And like, yes, you guys are working on this together, but like if they've got a fucking honker of a pimple, you're going to be real intimate with it real fast. Like there's nowhere for them to hide.
Exactly. Yeah. You see, and that's the craziest thing about my industry is like you see everything.
Mm-hmm.
You are usually in people's houses, so you
see their dynamic at
yes,
home. And
you know like you could write books, you know, and that's another thing. You have to be like really private about them. You can't talk about them because it does everyone gets out because look at Dumois. Yeah. It's like he said, she said. So it's like if I tell a story like not on air to you, and then like you know that name comes up in another friend group and you tell them it's literally, and then it turns and twists. And so I feel like that's another reason I've been at it so long. It's because I keep everything to myself, you know?
Well, and I think you've also perfected the art of, as Amy Poehler likes to say, talking well behind people's backs.
Yes. I love her so much. I've worked with her too. She is fantastic. She is fantastic.
That makes me feel so happy.
I just want to tell you, she is exactly who you want her to be.
I have a question though. Have you ever heard a better laugh in your life? When she is cracking up about something,
she's the best.
It makes everybody want to laugh.
Yeah.
I genuinely think like she's a great interviewer. I'm so happy her pod is doing well.
Yes.
Part of it is just because her laugh is so good.
Yes.
When she thinks something is funny, you want it to be funny.
That's so true. Yeah. Her and Rashida are really close too. Rashida's
I'm manifesting Rashida on the pod. I keep like occasionally saying on Instagram or whatever, I'm like, Rashida, I want Rashida. There's things we have to talk about.
She's
like
the best too, dude.
Like her Apple show, Sunny, about the robot.
Wasn't it so good?
Oh man, that last episode killed me.
That's why I'm like, I don't understand. Like I was shocked. I was like, she should have been nominated for that. Like she was so good in it. It was such a different show.
My husband was so shocked because I'm a pretty basic bitch when it comes to what I watch. And I don't watch that much TV.
It was so dark, wasn't it?
Which is so not me in general, but I was so enthralled by this like visual world that had been created.
Yes.
And I think she is amazing. And I just like, I couldn't stop watching it.
Yeah.
Even though it was really fucking dark.
Really dark. But the world was so interesting.
The world was so good. I love Japan. Like, it was just everything about it. Anyway, Rashida.
Well, she's nominated for an Emmy for Black Mirror. I don't know if you saw that episode.
So good.
So good.
Just come to the closet, Rashida.
Yeah, Rashida, you love the closet. Come on, let's go.
You would love it here.
Yeah, she loves fashion.
Yeah, we love a shoe. I was at this Tory Burch thing when she opened her new store. I had no business being there. A wonderful friend invited me to go, and it was like stepping into another world. It was stepping into your world, right? Like everybody.
I did Rashida for that.
She looked.
Thank you. No, I'm just kidding. She's gorgeous.
So I'm like getting ready to leave because like I am a mom with a child who's going to wake up at whatever fucking time.
6
I
a.m.
have no business being in this place where everybody's like taking Tory Burch shots. Like it was like it was beautiful and stunning and wonderful. And as I'm leaving, this angel ascends the stairs, and it's Rashida Jones.
She's an angel. She's so smart. She's so funny. She's so thoughtful. She's so pretty.
This might actually be a Rashida Jones fan podcast.
Forget
now.
everything else.
Yeah. We don't have to talk about it.
She literally is. I'm so lucky. I've been working with her for like 15 years.
She seems also like deeply loyal to people.
Deeply loyal. Yeah. I think that probably comes from like her like childhood and her dad. Like, you know, you want to keep the good people around.
Yes.
So
totally. I guess Jamie's one of them.
Yeah.
Or she just likes having absolute nut jobs around.
That too. Yes. Medicated nut jobs.
Shout out Zoloft. Okay, so when do you like first pick up a makeup brush and realize that stand-up comedy is not the thing? When do you start dabbling in earnest?
Okay,
in this
so
world?
to be honest, like I was always into makeup, and my mom's best friend sold makeup, and I used to like go to her house and she'd give me stuff and I'd be like, oh my God. And my mom and I used to go to the Cosmetic Center, RIP, on Rockville Pike, and we would pick out Frosted Brownie and all the other things. And I would always go to the Mac store and spend all my money at the Mac store. It's like exactly what the girls are doing now. So I don't know why everyone's freaking out, because when I was that age, I was also doing that.
Yeah.
We didn't have as much to choose from.
Yes.
But I was going to where they sold, you know, or CVS or whatever I could find to buy cosmetics. Always loved cosmetics. And in college, I would do everybody's makeup.
Who were you learning from though? Because
Me.
like, okay,
There was no YouTube. There was no nothing. And by the way, I look back at pictures and I was like, I was terrible. Like, I was just trying to, you know, I would look in the magazines. That's all we had. We had nothing else, you know?
Yeah.
So as time went on, I remember my professor, my film professor was like, you should think about makeup. Like, you always have such cool makeup on. You always do people's makeup. Like, and I was like, what? And I didn't think anything of it. My aunt, actually, who lives in New York City, is still like she cuts hair. Like men's hair.
Why can't you say that? Barber?
What is
What
it?
is that?
I don't know.
A lady barber?
A lady-
barberess?
Her name is Barbara. So a Barbara.
Barbara the barberess?
Yeah, she was like gangster. Like she opened up the Vidal Sassoon in London in the 80s. Like she was like cool as fuck. She's a groomer. I know that's what you call it, but I can't do that anymore.
So no, makeup that you always loved.
Oh yeah, I loved.
But you also had like a lot of people in your life that were in this space kind of validating that this was a legitimate path to go down.
Yes. So my husband and I had become exhausted with New York City.
Because you guys met in college.
We met in college. We were exhausted. He was actually in finance. I was like, I got a live one. And I was in film. And he's like, I want to be in film. He loves storytelling. He loves writing. He loves storytelling. So I was like, there's only one other place I'll live, and that's Los Angeles. And I had done a summer program when I was in college, and I was like, I love LA. Like, I loved it so much. And my parents were like, it's because you're not working and you're just having fun. And I'm like, no, I like it here. So we moved. He's like, fine, let's do it. So we're like, he also asked me to marry. My mom's like, I'm not planning a wedding with you.
How old were you when he asked you?
25.
Okay, child bride.
It's young, I know. Child bride. So my mom's like, I'm not planning a wedding with you across country. It was her wedding. I could have cared less. So she planned the wedding. We were like, we'll get married and then we'll drive out and do our thing.
What was the dress situation for that wedding?
I actually borrowed my best friend's Ula Maya dress. It was it was just like strapless.
Like a strapless shifty thing?
It was like strapless and then like, just like a plain, and then it just like Cinderella. No one can understand what I'm saying, but that's how I described it, and you'll just have to, I'll send you a picture.
Okay, please. We'll put it in the show notes.
We'll put it in the notes.
It showed off the girls.
Yeah, showed off the girl. Always had the girls.
Always.
So
before you met your husband, were you like dating a lot?
I had a serious boyfriend in high school that like made me mental and like got over that, and then was just in college, just had fun, just being like a flirt and dick tease and scared of everybody. Like,
Sure.
don't want to get a disease. Like,
Yes.
I was kind of like a prudier type of girl.
Same.
You know?
Yeah.
But I definitely had my handful of hot guys. Like, I definitely, like, two of the guys I heard that I hooked up with from high school. Well, I was in high school? I was in college. It was like a summer. They're both gay now. So at least they were good looking.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Took
then
good care of themselves.
they really did. Yeah.
And what was it about your husband that was like green flag?
Okay, first of all,
Because you're in college. Like, what are you looking for in college?
We weren't, during the whole 4 years, we weren't anything. It was like the last month. But the thing that's sad, and we've all moved on, but his best friend and I were like, had a thing. So it was kind of at the end of college. But whenever I'd see him out,
Yeah.
the chemistry was unmatched. He was the most fun guy, made me laugh so hard. I loved him, but he was completely off limits because of his best friend.
Right.
And then the last month of school, it was like
All bets are off.
all bets are off. I was like obsessed. I'm like, I loved him always, you know?
And maybe
we were
he
soulmates. He did. And it
shirt.
worked out. Yeah.
That's so sweet.
Yep.
And like, also just at that age to pick your person and then they remain your person.
Crazy. It doesn't
Shocking.
happen. Yeah, it doesn't happen.
Very unusual.
I always am like, wait. Yeah. But we were like, there was something deep that I still feel for him, you know? I know.
That's very sweet.
Yeah.
And you guys work together now.
And we work together now.
And you
Yes.
still feel that way.
I still feel that way.
I'm going to say it's the
He's
Zoloft.
a great partner. It is the Zoloft. Everything's great because of the Zoloft. End of show.
No, that's so sweet. Okay, so you have always been into makeup.
Yes.
You get this like nod from your film professor who's like, you know, you're really good at this.
So we decided to move to LA. So we
Moved
got
to LA.
married. We spent the summer in Oxford Valley, Pennsylvania. Well, more Newtown, Pennsylvania, but Oxford Valley was the closest town, and there was an Ulta there. And one of my husband's friends, was like, "You love makeup. You should go get a job there." Because we were bored. We were over the summer. I'm like,
Yeah.
I like to work. I like to make money. So I went in with like a suit and like a resume, and they were like, "What the fuck is this crackhead?" And so,
Yeah, it's like, you're selling makeup, bitch.
yeah, you're making $7 an hour. So I got a job at the Ulta there, and I would unpack the truck at 4:30 in the morning. I made like $7.50 an hour. It was like a joke, but I loved it. And some woman came in and was like, "I need a makeover," and I was obsessed with Bare Minerals because I bought the infomercial.
Obsessed.
And so I tap swirl buffed her.
Loose powder.
She bought everything.
Tap swirl buff. Okay. Yep.
Or swirl tap buff, whatever it is. And she bought everything, and I was like, it was like, oh my God, this is fun. Like,
Did you get commish?
No commish. You get like, they had gratis, like you can get free shit, and that I loved too because I was like, oh my God, this is great. Like I didn't even care that I was working there. I didn't care.
You just love the feeling of opening like a new box of product.
Yes,
There's something about that.
Oh my God. I just loved the whole thing. I loved being surrounded by product. I loved knowing everything about every product. Could have done without the music. It was like that, like elevator music. Like I hear songs today and I'm like triggered back to Ulta. Like they played the same satellite radio over and over. It was like the worst music. And then I was like, we were moving to LA. So I got a job opening the first Ulta in LA.
Wow.
Which is on Santa Monica and La Brea. It's still
Wow.
there. Worked there for 6 months. Then I was like, I need to move on to Bloomingdale's. Went to Bloomingdale's. My parents were like, what are you doing with your life? Like, you have a degree. Like, you know. And I was like, trust. And then I was like, by the way, we get 60% off black clothes. My parents were like, let's go. They'd come for Thanksgiving and like go shopping and buy everything. But I did that for like 2 years. Met a lot of people. Met someone that owned a makeup school, worked for them on the weekends. I met somebody that was a producer and he hired me to work on Nanny 911. Like all these things were just like, you know, and I had a lot of fun and I honed my skills there. Like I sucked. And there was a guy at the MAC counter that still does makeup. He's a celebrity makeup artist too. He did Billie Eilish for like ever. I still talk to him. Rob Rumsey, what's up? He and I both, I remember Rob would come over and be like, okay, you want this brush? You want this? And I was like, okay. Like I didn't know shit. And I got a real education there.
Thanks, Rob.
Yeah, thanks, Rob. Yeah.
And so then when do you make the leap? When's your like first big client that you book?
Okay, the first client. So while all this was going on and I was dabbling in television and movies and like trying to figure it out, I realized like, oh, like celebrity makeup artistry is a thing, like public appearance. It's like a different kind of genre. And I was like, this is great. I don't want to be on a film set all day. Like that wasn't my vibe.
Yeah.
And it's different every day, which I need.
Yes.
And so I reach out to this. I know this is crazy, but in this business, you have agents, just like an actor would. Yeah. So there's this agency called the Wall Group. And I would
that you're still with.
That I'm still with.
Sweet.
I'm very loyal as well. I kept emailing like a psycho.
Yeah.
Like not too much, but just the right amount.
Persistent.
And I'd be like, hey, this week I
Precocious.
I mean, I didn't do shit. So then they like hired me to assist people. So I started assisting people. And my first big client, well, on a side note, I was asked to go with Jillian Dempsey to Texas to assist her because she was the lead colorist for Avon. And it was one of these huge, like, you know, like 5,000 people in the audience, like all like the top Avon. And then I had to do stuff like in the back. But the morning of the event, they were like, hey, can you go do the makeup of some of the execs from their other line, Mark. And I'm sure a lot of you don't know what Mark was like the young version of Avon. And it was like, make your mark. And it was for younger girls to sell, you know, MLM and like make money. Sure. It was cute. So I went and did their makeup and they loved me. And they actually gave me a contract like a couple weeks later. I didn't even have an agent or anything. And they're like, you're great. And they flew me out to New York and I did their maglog, their magazine catalog. And I was like, I was just having the best time. I was like so excited about all the opportunity. And then I went to the Wall Group and I was like, I have a contract. And they were like, oh, okay. So I started assisting other people going out. The people that I assisted were like very happy with me and they would report back. And then finally they started sending me out on like different jobs. So my first big job, there were two that I remember. One was Lionel Richie, which was actually through a friend from childhood that like called me.
Yeah.
And I had just gotten back from Cabo and I got off the plane and he had called me like a bunch of times. I was like, we need like a touch up for Lionel Richie. He was shooting some like documentary film and they wanted to interview him.
Sure.
And I was like, yes, let me do it. And I remember I walked in the room and Lionel was like, damn, girl, you blacker than I am. That's what he said to me because I had come back from Cabo and I was so tan and he was awesome. And that was like, my dad was such a Lionel Richie. I mean, my whole family, Dancing on the Ceiling.
Iconic,
like,
yeah.
Like, it was just like pinch me moment. And then Katrina Bowden was on 30 Rock.
Yeah.
She was going to Emmys and that was my first like big red carpet. Kristen Sariano made her dress. This was like probably closer to 20 years ago, maybe 15 years ago. I don't know. And I didn't know. It was definitely like 20 years ago, like 18 years ago. She was so sweet. I was so nervous because in our world, when you do a red carpet, there's Wire Image and Getty Image taking pictures. And so what you do is you do your job and then you go and have like convulsions in the corner and wait for the pictures to develop online so that you can see if you did your job. And I remember they came out and I was like, oh my God, she looks amazing. Like I was so happy. And then like she texted me like, hey, I left you something at the front desk. You can pick it up. And it was like a card thanking me, which nobody does this, by the way. This was just like, must have been her first red carpet.
Yeah.
It was like a moment in time.
Yeah.
She sent like the nicest card and like $50 cash.
Oh, sweet.
And it was such a great experience. And then that like kind of was like, okay, I can do this. And then I just kept doing it. And for the first couple of years, every time I would get a new client to go to their house, I'd have to pull over, find a Norms or something to go to the bathroom because I was so nervous.
Of course. The nervous pee.
Well, I wish it was a pee. I'm just kidding.
I have Crohn's disease, okay?
I have colitis.
Oh my God, do you?
Yeah. I know Crohn's is a little worse.
It's like the same schoolhouse of hot girls having stomach problems.
Totally. I'm flaring now as we speak.
I asked my gastroenterologist who I've had on the pod at Cedars.
Who is yours?
Dr. Pooja Khanna.
Should I go to her?
Yes.
Okay, I'm switching. You'll give me the info.
She is the head of women's health at the IBD center at Cedars.
Okay.
She is incredible. You can listen to her episode.
Okay, I will.
But I did ask her, I'm like, what's the deal? Hot girls have stomach problems.
Yeah.
And she was like, facts
stress.
are facts. But yes, stress can be
Did yours come out from stress?
most likely. Yeah. I was 16, but like a very stressful period of life, family life, and
Same.
starting to like look at college and figure out, all of those things.
Crazy. I know. I not only did I get, well, when I was your age and that moment where you're like, oh, Mary, I'm graduating. Where do I go? It's kind of a similar, I got shingles.
Oh, another stressy kind of disease. Or
I got shingles. Yeah.
virus. Yeah.
So, yeah, I manifest.
Well, and
good
this makes a
stress.
lot of sense also why you have this hypothesis about your mom.
Yes.
Because you saw what stress was doing to your body.
Correct.
And so you just were able to extrapolate.
Way to bring it back. Yes. Mother life.
Mother life. We might be rebranding, so we don't have to be that.
Okay.
So this is kind of snowballing for you. You're gaining your confidence. And you said that was about 18 years ago. Your oldest is how old?
14.
14.
Yeah.
So you have like a good chunk of time to build your portfolio, build your notoriety.
Yes.
You always knew you wanted to have kids?
I did not want to have kids.
Tell me.
I just was like, kids are annoying. Always thought that.
That's not wrong.
So annoying. But like also brainwashed by my mom and society into the
You should. You're supposed to.
You're supposed to get married and you're supposed to have kids. That's
what a uterus is
the,
for.
The patriarch wants. So
And how did your husband feel about it?
he wanted kids.
Of course.
He's
It's
such
no
a
work for
good.
them. Just kidding.
No,
I know he does a lot of work.
No, he does a lot. He is not like every guy.
Yeah. He's not like every man out there.
He's not. Literally not.
But what was it for him that he was like, I really want to have kids? What was his driving
He's
motivation?
adopted too. So I think I don't know. We've actually never talked about this, but I think having the first blood related relative was important to him.
Don't you think you should talk to him? Yeah, can you go home today and ask him?
I will ask him, but yeah, we have talked. It's just I don't know.
People have, but
we don't talk, and that's why we get along so well.
you know what? I have heard that is actually the secret.
Yeah,
but
separate bedrooms.
People
No.
that is
I
also
wish.
the New York
I
Times
wish.
says.
Yeah,
that
no,
is,
it's
sleep
a true
divorce
thing.
is a very successful
Yes,
way
you
to
can have sex in the morning, guys. You don't
Yeah.
have to do it at night. Night is for
Who
television. Netflix.
has the time.
You got to just stick it in when you can.
As we said earlier, serotonin levels are lowest at night.
Leave me
Why are
alone
we
at night.
trying?
Leave me alone at night. My favorite is when the kids go to school and I'm home. He comes back from dropping my kids off.
Afternoon delight.
After we sing it.
Mid-morning
Yeah.
delight.
Yep. If it's afternoon, believe me, we sing that.
Yeah.
There's a reason that song came out.
Yeah. I mean, there is a reason.
Yeah.
There's probably research.
Yep.
So for him, I want you to ask him that question.
I will, when
because
I
I
get
think
home.
that is interesting. But I think everybody has different reasons why they have kids.
Yeah.
And there's not a right reason or a wrong reason.
I just thought you were supposed to.
Right.
Yeah.
And so you get pregnant with your daughter.
Yep.
And she comes into the world.
Yep.
How much does your life/career change upon her arrival?
Okay. So this is like, sorry, I'm, lots of therapy. So when I had my baby, she had swallowed the most meconium that any kid at Cedars had ever swallowed. Her lung collapsed and they weren't sure what was going to happen to her for the first 48 hours, if she was going to die or if she was going to make it.
Christ,
it was
okay.
crazy. Not only that, but my mom was on her last leg with cancer. So she was dying. My mom came to Cedars for the delivery, but was walking around with a bag. The cancer had spread to her intestines. So she needed a bag that released juice from her stomachs pretty much to take the pressure off.
Yeah.
So she'd carry a Lululemon bag. It's like a colostomy bag, but for your intestines.
Got it.
And she was dying. And so I was just like, huh? And my mom, I remember she came in, she's like, everything is I'm dying and now your daughter's going to die. It was just such a fucking storm of nightmare. I delivered the baby and when I was delivering it, 10,000 people came in the room and
Every person's nightmare.
yeah. And I was like, what's going on? And I could, I could feel, I knew something was bad. And then they took her upstairs and everybody went upstairs and there was a whistling janitor. And I'm just sitting there what the fuck is going on? And I didn't see her for 2 days. They wouldn't even let me see her. My husband was like, I had to sign all this shit out. I just said yes.
C-section or vaginal?
Vaginal.
Okay.
And they intubated her and the intubation wouldn't work. So they had to keep intubating her with different kinds of whatever those were, the breathing machines.
Schmageggies.
Yeah, and then they were they came down and they're like, so we might have to helicopter to Children's because we're having trouble getting her to breathe on her own and nothing. And I was like, what? And I remember like breaking down and I was like, my doctor, Dr. Katz, he walked in and I go, just tell me, is she going to die? Is she going to be severely retarded? Like with all the non-breathing and non-oxygen, and is she going to be able to live? And he just looked at me and he's like, it's going to be fine. And I was like, okay. It was just such a terrible time. And then I moved into the hotel, the Sofitel across from Cedars. My best friend came because my mom's like, I need to go home and die. I was like, okay, bye mom, go die. And it was just such a weird time. Yeah. So like,
that's a real understatement.
It was a really fucked up time. And so I didn't work. I actually didn't work for 6 months.
Yeah. Because right.
I had to wait for Lenny.
You could have told me I didn't work for 6 years and I would have still believed you.
You would have been like, that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. That is a psychotic amount of trauma to happen in a very short period of time.
It was psychotic. So Lenny was in the NICU for 5 weeks. And I just lived in the NICU. And my best friend came in, Jamie, from Maryland. Jamie and Jamie. And we would sit and do rounds. She loved doing rounds. She had lost her sister from childhood cancer. So she's very involved with, we would take notes on like whose parents didn't come and how are they doing and how's the Billy Rubin count on this one. Like we made fun with it.
Yeah.
Like, that's literally what I do with everything. Like my mom's dying. We made fun of it. I was like, what? So anyway, I went to the doctor and I was like, dude, I have to get out of here. My mom's going to die. I need to go to Maryland. I don't want to leave the baby. Like, he's like, we're going to do all these tests to see if she can fly. Anyway, so she could fly. I had to take her with oxygen. We flew to Maryland. We moved into my basement, which they had a room in the basement. So me and my husband moved into the basement, and my mom was supposed to die within like a week. This was in February. She was born in January. We went February, and we moved in the basement. I was like, I'll just be here for this shit. And you know how like they're like, babies shouldn't be around people?
Yeah.
7 billion people a day coming to like just see my mom and like whatever. She was so healthy that it took, she didn't die until April 1st, which was April Fool's Day, because she was very funny. But it took that long. So I lived there with a newborn. My husband would do all of the grunt work, and I was just psychotic, and I became like an alcoholic. Someone was like, you need a drink. And I'm like, I don't want to drink. Like, that's not what I'm here to do. And then they were like, you really need to take a drink. And I was like, oh my God, it really does curb the pain.
It does. I mean, it makes total sense. But
I had a lot of great talks with my mom. This is how she was. I was like, Mom, Mark was calling me about this job that I had to do. And she's like, well, if I die, when do you need me to die? Like, this is how the conversations went. I was like, well, if you could die before March, that might work out better because they want me to fly in the end of March. There was like a whole thing. And then I was like, one night I was sitting with her and I was like, is there anything you want to tell me? Like anything that you did not tell me that like you want me to know? And she's like, turned to me and she's like, your father's gay. And I was like, everything was a joke. Like she was so funny. But so yeah, so that was a really rough fucking period. So then when I had my second and third, everything went off like, I was like, oh wait, this is what it's like to have a baby?
Easy peasy, no
like
big deal.
Nothing.
But for your first also, like, what a crazy dichotomy of life and death. Like,
100%.
Where did that in the beginning. I find it hard enough when you have a baby and everyone's experience is different. It's like they come out and you're like, I've never met you before.
Yeah. No, it was awful. And I was like, we fucked up.
I'm your mom. Nice to meet you. This is your name. Like,
yep.
I never met you before.
Yeah. I didn't have a connection either. Like, I was like, no connection. Like,
but also, like, of course you didn't. She may have died. Like,
yeah.
You didn't. Why would you get so attached to something that,
yep.
I mean, at least that's how I would rationalize it.
I just was like, it was just weird and gray and just fucking weird. And the weird thing was I didn't have like postpartum at all. Like at all. Like no.
Well, the booze was helping with that.
Maybe that's what happened. But I wasn't blue. I didn't want to kill the baby. I just was like, I think I was just in a limbo like life moment of like just surviving, you know?
Yeah.
And it was just so fucking crazy.
Crazy. And so then 6 months, mom passes.
Yep.
You've had the time to talk to her, to prepare for this moment.
Very grateful for that.
And then you go back to work after 6 months.
Yes.
And so now you're trying to juggle. Did anything surprise you about like trying to juggle flying here, flying there, being up late to be here to do touch-ups at an event, and having
I don't even, to be honest, like I liked getting out of the house. I'm not good with baby moms. Like I wasn't a good baby mom. Like, I didn't enjoy just sitting at home and I just couldn't.
Yeah.
So I was very happy to go back to work.
Yes.
And yeah, my mom was like, don't have someone raise your kids. Don't get a nanny. And I was like, bitch, I'm getting a nanny.
Yeah. Love you.
Yeah.
And also.
Yeah. She also was like, you should have 3 kids. That kept like sticking out in my head. So here I am 3 kids later.
3 kids later.
Yeah.
And at what point did you transition from or add to your portfolio badass celebrity makeup artist and now also CEO of a company?
Yeah. So already had the 3 kids. And I think my husband was like anything. And I think a lot of entrepreneurs are like this and creatives are like this. Like, you're like, what's next? Like, I have a great career. What else can I do? What's something new we can do? Now, we were jumbled into social media. Love that. Love speaking to camera. Very good on camera. Enjoy that whole aspect. Wasn't like, oh no, we have to do this now, which a lot of people are, because most artists like aren't for camera. They're behind camera. They don't, but I was like, I love this. It's fun. But then, I always wanted to have products. I was like, maybe we just make one thing. And we made the Blylighter, which was the blush highlighter hybrid. And we're like, let's just make this and we'll see what happens. And so we made it. It was fucking hard. And then when we came out with it, we made our money back in 3 months.
It's crazy.
I know. So it was, and then we made another product. We made our money back in 3 months. And so I was like, oh shit, there's a market.
Yeah.
And we're doing great.
And people, part of it is also people are trusting you at this point.
Right. Because I'm schlocking other stuff. Like, I try everything and then whatever now, meanwhile, 6 years ago, we also started something called Swag Bag, which is kind of this secret that not a lot of people know. We send it to 360 women a month. And it was like a curated bag of goodies that I pick out that I'm like, I've never heard of this brand. I love this product. Oh my God, I can't believe this product exists. And so that's been going on for 6 years. It's been like, it like kept me afloat during COVID, kept me afloat during the strike. Like, it's always been like a bottom liner for us, which has been really great. And it's kind of like, it's made over millions of dollars. And me and my husband are like, and nobody knows about it. Like, it's just this
so
quiet
cool.
little,
It's very enticing. Well, it's also like, it's the same sort of thing as like part of why the whole Labubu thing has gone crazy is because of the blind box nature of it. Like, you don't know what you're going to get or the value of the thing that's inside. And so there's like this like exciting, like what's going to be in there. And then once you spend the money on ordering the thing, it's like, oh, I actually didn't spend that money. Like, you forget about it and then it shows up and you're like, oh, it's basically free.
Yes, exactly. Also, Labubu, just for all you entrepreneurs out there, was around for 15 years before that pop off.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay. So I could be sitting on a Labubu right now.
Dude,
I just don't even know.
We're praying for that Labubu.
It's you and me and JCPenney, okay? Let's bring it back. Okay, so you are now at the stage where you've got 3 kids who are in very different stages. Youngest 7, oldest is 14?
Yeah.
And everybody needs different things from you.
Yeah.
You mentioned, like, briefly, like, I don't know why everyone's going crazy about teenagers and makeup now.
Yeah.
So, like, for your daughter, she's funny, likes sports, and is into makeup.
Yeah.
I think she even calls herself, like, Jamie Jr. or something.
She did Jamie Makeup Jr.
Jamie Makeup Jr. online.
She is...
Talk to me.
She's so much more chill than I am. She is, like, she took all the good shit and none of the, like, neuroses,
Talk about, like, a little cycle breaker you are then.
Yeah.
Because that's clearly something that you and your husband are helping her to do. I know that people are their own people, but also she's growing up in an environment.
Yeah, she's, like, she'll be like, Mom, chill. And I'm like, you're right. I'm just being like my mom now, It always creeps in.
Do you guys, what are, like, the arguments that you guys get into?
Well, we don't really argue that often, which is crazy, but it'll be, I'm trying to think of, well, like last night, this is so stupid, but last night I went to pick her up from practice and I pulled my car. I was kind of in the middle of the street. So she's putting her stuff in the car and I'm like, just close the door and let me just move, because everybody started beeping at us.
Sure.
And she's like, no, Mom, let me just put my stuff in and get in the car. So she just wanted to get it over with, get in the car, and I wanted her. And so she gets in the car and I'm like, oh, and she's like, you're bugging. She's like, I was just putting my stuff away. And I was like, no, you should have just let me. And so that was like
the kind of shit.
We don't fight. We have probably fought like 4 times.
But it's like little shit like that. Did you guys have, or have you had with any of the kids, like a sit down sex talk, or how do you talk about sex?
Yeah, Lenny and I have talked about it. I also bought her a book, and I'm like, if you have any questions, and we've talked about stuff. Like we've had a
You
talk.
just strike me as like a family that's like pretty open about talking about everything.
Yeah. And then my son is a boy and makes jokes, and he's always like talking about penises and stuff like that. And I'm like, my husband's very much like, you have to respect a woman. And we haven't had the full with him because he's only 10.
Yeah.
So that'll come though, and we'll talk to him. And then, but from a very young age, all of my kids, we were like, you can marry a boy, you can marry a girl, you can love who you love. Like we're very like that. Like my daughter, I remember Lenny in the bath when she was like 4 or 5, and she was like playing, and she's like, playing with like 2 girls. And I was like, they can be in love. Like, so we were very open about like that, you know?
And what are the biggest fights that you and your husband get into?
I think our fights are usually him getting annoyed with me being too into my world and not thinking about him.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah. So he gets mad, and then I get mad. The things I get mad about is like, the chores or whatever.
Yeah.
I'll just be like annoyed. But like right now we're pretty 50-50 on chores, which is good.
Let us not jinx it.
Yeah.
So what do you think in terms of, I mean, everyone says that like the age, especially of your 14-year-old, is like such a scary time to be around teenage girls.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really sound like your experience.
I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop, but I feel like my oldest and I have this like really lucky relationship. I'm sure we're gonna have, once the boys and the this and that. She's still a little like behind the curve with that, but she's interested. She thinks people are cute, boys are cute, and this and that. But we'll see. But my son, I think I'm gonna have more of a head to head with.
Yeah,
he's my more emotional kid, and he's got a little bit more of my mother in him, and a little bit more. He's the second. Well, he's a middle kid. But he's also the second. And I feel like I was way more like problematic in that department than my brother. My brother was like, whatever you tell me to do, I will do, and I will be great at it, and I will help do. I am the robot of the family. And I was like, move out of my way.
Let's stir some shit up.
So he stirs some shit up, but he's also awesome. So yeah, I just try to remind myself like this is their journey. And the reason I fought back with my mom so much is because she wouldn't let me explore.
Be on your own ride.
She was trying to control everything. So that's in the back of my head. It's hard. I get it. It's really hard to pull back and not want to be like, no, you shouldn't. But you just do your best and pray.
Okay. I want to make sure we get to some listener questions.
Okay.
Because like I said, people were very excited.
Yes.
Okay, so let's see here. Now, so one listener wants to know, is more expensive always better? How do I know when a product is worth the money?
Okay, so no, more expensive is not always better. And the best way to figure out if a product is great is how does it adhere to your skin? How does it look on you? How does it make you feel? How does it make you look? This morning I was showing another makeup artist at my gym when I was like, watch this. And I put on this True Match from L'Oreal.
Okay.
She goes, holy shit. I go, I swear to God, this is such a good foundation. And my mind is blown, like how good it is compared to
L'Oreal. Do you hear that?
Yeah. Come on, L'Oreal. So no, it's literally like, and people were like, what line do you use? And I'm like, look, every line from Chanel to Sicily to Hermes to L'Oreal, there are some products in that line that are fantastic, So now there's people talking about stuff. So like, do your research and then try stuff. And the great thing about, not my line because it's small, but the great thing about like the Sephora's and
you can return.
Yeah.
Don't
return small business. It hurts us.
And I'm really bad at returning things, so I never will.
Me too. I was never a
forever.
returner.
Okay. Do you have a favorite mascara?
Thrive Cosmetics, which is
People
a
are
tubing
obsessed
mascara.
with that one.
Yes, it's fucking great. I love it so much. It protects your lashes, it lengthens, thickens, and it doesn't smudge. And then when you wash it off at night, it comes off in little clumps and it looks like your lashes are coming out. One of my clients was like, that stuff you gave me made my lashes fall out. I'm like, no, that's the tubing. That's the tubing.
It's just the tubing.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is a consistent one. This is important for all of our women who are dealing with chin hairs. Some more than others. So one listener said, black chin hair stubble. How are we concealing between pluckings without caking? Okay. So I think this is somebody who like has more than just a hair.
Yeah,
Maybe
they have a couple or a patch. So I would recommend getting laser hair removal in that area. Yeah, it's like,
why didn't I think of that?
Yeah, because it will come back every month. It just comes back every month, and it's crazy. Getting a good pluck too, because I have one that like comes in, but you have to get like a straight pluck. Otherwise, you have texture, or you get like if I pluck it wrong, then I get like a little scab because I'm trying to take it out. Yeah. So
I've literally never considered how I'm plucking the hair.
Oh, you have to pull it straight out. Because have you ever pulled out and not gotten the whole thing?
No? I mean, it's like, the one hair that I have down here is like a witch coven hair. It's just like,
it's the same one.
You can't fucking miss it, man. Yeah. It's like a satellite sitting on my face.
Sometimes you'll forget about it and then you'll be like, holy shit.
Where have you been?
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I would just say get a laser, go have it zapped like 3 or 4 times.
Zap it and forget it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a really good shout. What does setting spray do? A listener wants to know.
So setting spray is like, think of it, the best way to explain it, it's like hairspray, like a fine hold hairspray. So you're putting your spray on to hold all your makeup in place. You're practically making it smudge and water resistant.
Got it.
So.
And is that something that people do every day?
I mean,
I'm sure some people do.
Some people do, yeah. It's become a very big category.
Yeah.
And I love it. I think it's great, and I think it does hold.
Set it and forget it.
Set it and forget it. Rompo Peel. The ones I love are Skindinavia, and then if you want something a little like crazier, One Size.
And when you say crazier, you mean like a fur
really
mold?
yeah.
What is it? That one?
It's called One Size.
One Size. Okay.
And I forget what the actual product is, but it's the brand One Size.
Okay. Now, does concealer need to sit on my face before I blend it? A listener wants to know.
So by concealer sitting on your face, it warms up to your body's temperature, and it becomes a little more malleable once you do that. That's why sometimes we like to say warm it up in your fingertips.
Yeah.
Or put it on, wait a little, like a minute, and then take your fingertips and kind of blot it in.
Got it. Are we still using beauty blenders? Is that a thing?
I love beauty blenders till I die. And don't get the fake ones. Only get beauty blenders.
What's the difference?
Okay, beauty blenders were created to mimic the texture of skin. This is something people don't know.
Okay.
A lot of people use their beauty blenders wrong too. You have to
get it wet, right?
Get it soaking wet until it gets bigger.
Yeah.
So then when you blend it, it's literally copying the texture of your face.
Wow.
A lot of people don't know that.
I'm definitely not getting it soaking wet.
Yeah, you got to get it drenched.
I had no idea.
Squeeze the egg and then you bounce whatever you're doing. It will blend your makeup perfectly. That particular, whatever she makes it out of, no one's ever been able to copy. I've tried all the fakes. They all suck. And it's not just a sponge.
Okay.
It is more than that. So.
All right, shout
out.
Gotta
lay that shit down.
Shout out, beauty blender. Why is Jamie so amazing and why is her rack so great?
Oh my God, thank you. And my shout out to Grandma Phyllis, RIP, lived till 100. She gave me my rack and I've had them taken off. I had a reduction and they came back. So we're going to have
the genes are strong in you,
we
my
might
friend.
have to reduce again.
The real way to get rid of dark under eyes. I actually really want to know the answer to this one.
So
filler?
Under eyes are hereditary. Dark under eyes. So look, the more you can lymphatic, the more you can massage, like it's going to move things around. It's blood, like just sitting, So I love eye creams with caffeine in them because it gets them like kind of tingly and it moves things around. A good concealer, obviously. And there are some things you can do with like, you can go get an eye job. You have to be careful with the filler around the eyes. Like it can it can take on, it's such a thin area that it can pool in certain areas. It can also just look weird. But if you're really concerned about it, and I would go to a plastic surgeon that you really trust, because there are different things that they can do.
Last question I will ask you.
Yes.
Is there anything for anybody who is bugging about their teenage kids getting into makeup?
Yeah.
Or wanting to spend lots of time or money at Sephora? What do you want to say to those people?
I would say it's definitely a form of expression, right? And it's better than smoking a cigarette, I guess. But I think there needs to be limits with our kids. I think buying them everything is also like a disservice. So, it's a great way to get your kids to clean up their room, like make it a point system, just like Sephora does for buying stuff. Like make them earn it in their own way, however you want that to be. And then also just don't buy them everything they want. Like they can get like one Sol de Janeiro and one lip thing, and then share your makeup with them. Make it like a fun way to bond, and be like, I just got this lip gloss from Dior, and you can share it with them. And I just think it's a nice way to connect with your kid rather than fight it, but again, don't let them have whatever they want.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It's like having such a well of wisdom here. This has been so much fun.
Oh my God. We could talk forever.
I now have noticed, because obviously I'm now stalking you on the internet. Every time you're out doing something fun, I'm like, I want to be with Jamie. That looks fun. But now I'm confirmed that I definitely want to be hanging out with you.
Same.
Love it. All right. Well, this has been so much fun.
Oh my God. Thank you. Thank you.
Team, I need your help. If you love it here, please like and leave a review on your favorite podcast platform. Subscribe to the Substack for full access to this episode's show notes and join the discussion. And of course, follow me on Instagram at Mutha, MUTHA.life for a daily look at all things Mutha. Thanks for listening. Be sure to tune in next week for another Chat in the Closet. This podcast was produced by Mutha Life, music by Ronan Landa. See you next time.